History. My name is Alicia, and in this week's live lesson, we're going to practice making plans. We're going to practice reacting to plans, asking when something is going to happen, and confirming the plans. So today's lesson is going to focus on a few key patterns we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about these three main groups. That sounds plus adjective, or that's adjective. We're going to talk about this pattern, I'm adjective, like I'm good at that time, or I'm free at that time. Or I have noun, so I'll verb, like I have free time, so I'll join you. The third type of pattern we'll practice is asking when something happens. When does event start? Or when are we verb-ing? Like when are we leaving? So today we're going to talk about these types of patterns, and we're also going to practice a few different situations where you might use them. So as you join, please make sure to hit the like button and of course share this video so other people can find today's lesson. I'll say hello in the chat, in the YouTube chat. Hello, Gabriel, Jacob, Mr. Rodoviario, one of our members from Chile. What's up? GF John, what's up? Sammy, hello, Rocky and Patrick, what's up everybody? Facebook is still joining us. I will come back in a moment, but while we wait for people to join us live, the team has a 45% off deal that you can find at EnglishClass101.com, this banner at the bottom of the screen. You can find the details if you click the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, or above the video if you're watching on Facebook. You can find all the details of the special sale on this page. So check the two levels, Premium and Premium Plus. If you want more of my lessons, if you want lesson transcripts, if you want vocabulary flashcards, if you want your own teacher, if you want all of these different bonus study materials and study resources, now is a great time to begin. So please click the link to find all of the different information and choose the one that is perfect for you. I will remind you again later. Okay, I think more people are joining on Facebook. Hello, Rosa and Gallo. Welcome, everybody. Okay, let's begin because we have a lot to cover. We're going to begin with a dialogue, a short dialogue, and then we're going to look at the key phrases we use in the dialogue. So let's begin. I'll read through our discussion. First, hey Leo, are you doing anything tonight? Not really. Why? There's a new movie playing at the theater near my apartment. I was thinking about going. Oh, that sounds fun. I'm free tonight, so I can join you. Perfect. I'll buy the tickets online. Good idea. I have some time after work, so I'll meet you there a little early. Okay, so first, let's take a look at a few questions about this story then, all right? First, what kind of movie does Sarah want to watch? Maybe you caught it. They talked about it a little bit in the discussion. What kind of movie does Sarah want to watch? Second, when does the movie start? And third, why can Leo join Sarah tonight? You can put your answers in the chat. I'll check them in just a moment. And then we're going to go back and review. So first, what kind of movie does Sarah want to watch? Do you remember? We saw it right here. She said it's a mystery movie. She wants to watch the second one, when does the movie start? When does the movie start? The beginning time, okay? So here we had it right here. It starts at 7. Notice here we use the word 7. That's also okay. It's not always the number in a schedule. Yeah, it starts at 7. Okay? And the final question, why can Leo join Sarah tonight? Why is it possible for him to join? So he said, I have some time after work, so I'll meet you there a little early, right? Leo has time after work, so it's okay for him to join. Okay, so with this in mind, let's take a look at the key patterns we saw in this dialogue. We're going to look first at that sounds plus adjective and that's adjective. These are how we react to a plan or to an idea, okay? So, for example, That sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. That's a nice neutral way to say something. You can make it more intense with your voice. That sounds interesting. If it's not so interesting, or if you want to be sarcastic, you can say, that sounds interesting. Like something that sounds a little crazy or you're not so sure about, okay? Another one, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. This pattern uses a noun before, or sorry, uses an adjective before a noun. So here we have, that's a good idea, okay? We are reacting to something. Our adjective is right here. The adjective is good. So we don't usually say, that's an idea, unless we're not very excited about it, okay? So you might see somebody say, like in response, oh, that's an idea, which means I'm not very excited about that idea. Okay, that's an idea. Oh my, okay. And finally, that sounds exciting. That sounds exciting. So a basic adjective. This is probably the easiest way to respond, to react, okay? 1 point for pronunciation here. Notice this, that sounds, okay? Sometimes I hear learners say, that's sound, where they change the position of the S. That's sound is not correct. That sounds is how we express this reaction. That sounds interesting. That sounds exciting. That sounds fun, okay? Don't forget this S goes at the end of sounds, okay? Let's continue to the next set of examples, as in, that sounds fun. I'd like to go too. Or, that's a great idea. Let's try it. Or, that sounds interesting. Tell me more. These are expressions you can use to continue the conversation and to express that you are interested in going. Okay, let me check the chat. Hello to everybody who is joining. Hello, Rafael from Malaysia. Izde Haraman. Okay, what's up? Hello, Akash. Hi, everybody. Okay, so let's continue then. Oh, to another reminder. So this is the first pattern, first set of patterns we'll use to talk about our reactions, right? That sounds fun, that sounds cool, that sounds interesting, yeah? So really quickly, in case you missed it at the beginning, there is a 45% off discount right now. Check the link below the video. Okay, let's continue to the next group of patterns then. The next one is a question pattern. Please, please, please practice your question patterns because you need to ask questions to continue a conversation, to continue a plan, right? So let's take a look at 2 key patterns here. When does and when are we, okay? So when does blah, blah, blah begin? So this part is the event. Some kind of event or activity goes in this position. When does the show begin? When does the movie begin? When does the tour begin? Okay? We can also use start in this position. And on the other hand, you can also use end. When does the tour end, right? Or when does the tour finish? We can use this pattern for start times and end times. When does the movie end? I want to get dinner after, okay? So we can use this pattern to talk about start and end times. When does event end? Okay, then the next pattern is when are we, ing verb form. When are we leaving, for example? So here, we're asking a schedule question about our activities, right? When are we going? Or when are we visiting, right? When are we like stopping next? I need to use the restroom on a road trip. When are we, ing form, okay? So you can use both of these patterns to make a plan together, right? You might hear, of course, like, when do we leave? That's also okay to use in place of when are we leaving. Just make sure that your linking verb here does matches your subject, right? So if you want to use this type of pattern with we here, when do we leave, right? Or when do we arrive, right? So make sure that your linking verb matches your subject there. Okay. Patrick asked, can I exchange that for this? For example, that's cool for this is cool. Yes, you can, but again, it just depends on context. If the thing is in front of you and it is clear, you say, this is cool. You're looking at a beautiful artwork, this is cool. Or looking at a poster or something in front of you, this is cool, or this experience is cool. That has more distance from you. So grammatically, yes, but it depends on the context. I hope that answers your question. Okay, last pattern here. Again, we have this same pattern that we saw at the beginning, but for a daily life situation. So remember, the event can be just a regular everyday activity. When does the meeting start, right? When does the meeting end? So we can use this for everyday things also, not just for special plans and activities. Okay, so let's take a look at a bit of a longer sentence. When does the movie start tonight? So we can ask more specific questions about today's activities. Or when does the movie start tomorrow, right? So we want to ask something specific at a specific point in time. We can do that at the end, okay? Or when does the tour end tomorrow? If you want to make plans for the next day, okay? Then the next one, when are we meeting at the restaurant? When are we meeting at the restaurant? In this case, we have a location that's being specified. When are we meeting at the restaurant? So here, you want to ask a specific location for this activity. When are we meeting at the restaurant? When are we meeting at the theater? We saw this in the dialogue, I think, too. Okay? And lastly, when does the concert begin? When does the concert begin? So again, we have this event here, and we have a start or end time verb. Okay? All right. Rocky wrote, when does the Blue Jays game start? You want the game. When you're talking about sports or a specific event like a movie, there is a schedule for it, right? We know that every movie theater, every sports arena, there are many different schedules, right? Every day or every season or every month, right? So when we talk about a movie or a sporting event we plan to attend, we know usually in the conversation which one we're going to, tomorrow's game or this weekend's movie. So we don't use usually an indefinite article, or an. We say, when does the game start? When does the movie start? When does the tour start? Because there's always a specific one we're talking about, okay? All right, when does Ram come tonight? I don't know what that one means, but DigiBlocks, grammatically, it's okay. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. Okay, let's go to the next point. The next one is I'm plus adjective, or I have noun, so I'll verb. It's kind of an open pattern, so let's take a look at the details. I'm busy, so I'll stay home. This is just a simple adjective pattern. I'm busy. And please, 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 please remember, it is not I busy, it is I'm busy. Not I'm. So I'm busy. Here we have a connecting word, right? So I'll stay home. I'm busy, so I'll stay home. Usually, personally, I would not say this. If my friend said to me, hey, do you want to go to a movie? I wouldn't say I'm busy, so I'll stay home, personally. I would say I'm busy, so I can't come. Yeah? Like, I would use something like that. If I'm thinking in my mind, like I'm really busy right now, so I'll stay at home. Like I won't go to the party this weekend. I'm really busy, so I'll stay at home. For me personally, I would not say this to someone who invited me. I would say, I'm busy. I can't come. Sorry, this looks like a H, doesn't it? I can't come. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm busy, so I can't come. That's what I would personally say. Next, I have an event, so I'll come later, okay? Here is how you can give a reason, yeah? I have event, right? I have some plan, or I have an appointment. I have a date. Whatever your event or your activity is, you can give that as an explanation. And again, we have this so to show the cause and effect, right? I have an event, so I'll come later. Yeah? Or I have something going on, so I can't come is also okay to use. Okay? I think in the dialogue we saw him say, I'm off work early or something similar, so I can join you, something like that. Okay, hello, Ji-Jin from Greece, welcome. Okay, let's go to the last one. I'm tired, so I'll rest. So again, grammatically correct. So this is maybe a sentence you would say to yourself. I'm tired, so I'll rest, yeah? Or maybe at the end of the day, your coworker says, hey, let's go for a drink after work. And you go, oh, thanks, but I'm tired, so I'm gonna go home and rest. Keep in mind, if you use I'll, again, this one sounds like a decision you made in the moment. So make sure that it sounds like you already decided your plan, right? When you explain it to your friend. If you're deciding you're going home and you use this, it sounds a little bit like you're deciding right now. If you say, I'm tired, so I'm gonna go home and rest. Sorry, I need to rest. I wasn't feeling good today, yeah? But you can think this to yourself, I'm tired, so I'll rest. I'll just rest today. That's okay when you're talking to yourself. But keep in mind the grammar choices that communicate some nuances when you're making plans with someone. All right, let's continue to the next one. The next one is some more examples, longer examples with this. So, I'm free this evening, so I'll go with you. This is a great use of I'll in a person-to-person conversation for a plan invitation, okay? I'm free, adjective here. I'm free this evening, meaning I have no plans, yeah? Again, I'm free, not I free. I'm free this evening, so we have our connecting word. I'll go with you. So again, this grammar shows us I just decided, right? I just decided this, okay? You gave me an invitation or you invited me to something. I just decided because of this. I'm free this evening, so I'll go with you. I'll join you, okay? That's a great and natural use. It's very nice to use I'll when you are accepting an invitation, yeah? So if you say I'll when you reject an invitation, it sounds like you decided their plan wasn't good enough for you. Could be a little bit rude, so please be careful, okay? Then the next pattern about a plan, an existing plan or an event. I have a little time, so I'll stop by. So you can use this one, a little time, to mean this suggests that you have some kind of other plan, but you're not clear about it, okay? When you say, I have a little time, it sounds like in your schedule you have maybe 1 hour or 2 hours, but then you maybe have something else to do. So this one is a little bit sneaky. It's like when you don't want to 100% commit, but you are curious. So this one sounds like you have an event or you have an appointment, but you're like, maybe I'll join you. So you can use this one when you're not quite sure what your plan is, but you are interested. So you can say, I have a little time, again, so I'll stop by. Again, this shows we've just made the decision, okay? I have a little time, so I'll stop by. That sounds good. This sounds like you could stay longer, maybe, but we don't know what your other plans are. So this one is a good one to use to be a little bit, not wishy-washy, but a little bit like, ooh, we don't know how long that person is going to come for. Okay, last, I'm not working today, so I'll relax. I'm not working today, so I'll relax. This is a sentence I might think to myself. So I probably would not say this to another person, but I might think this to myself, okay? So I'm not working today, right? So here we have a negative. I'm not working today. So I do not have plans or I do not have responsibilities today, right? It's my day off, yeah? So again, I'll relax. So this one sounds like I just decided that. You wake up in the morning having a cup of coffee or tea, like, I'm not working today, so I'll relax. That's what this sentence feels like, yeah? For this one, again, if my friend invited me to something, I probably would not say that. I wouldn't say, I'm not working today, so I'll relax to my friend. I might say, oh, I'm not working today, so I'll join you, or something like that. So personally, just personally, I would probably only say this sentence to myself. I would think this to myself. But you can, of course, use this to begin a plan with a friend. Oh, I'm not working today, so I'll join you. That sounds great. Like this. I'm not working today, so I'll go with you. Or I'm not working today, so I'll stop by. So this kind of pattern shows you have some time in your schedule. This sounds like you have more time than a little time. Yeah? So these two are very useful for explaining you have some flexibility without being super clear. Okay, let's continue because time is going quickly. Quiz time, yay! Okay, so let's take a look. Let's see how much you remember from today's points. Okay, we had 3 key points. First, fill in the blank. That blank fun. I talked about this one specifically. So, sounds, sounding, or sound. That sounds fun. That sounding fun. That sound fun. Okay, so we talked about this earlier, right? I made a line on the board. Dun-dun, that sounds. This one right here, I talked about it at the beginning of today's lesson. The answer is, the answer is sounds. That sounds, I don't know how to erase that. Sounds with an S. That sounds fun is the correct answer. Do not forget this S here, okay? All right, then the next one. When blank the movie start? When blank the movie start? When do the movie start? When does the movie start? When did the movie start? Ooh, this one's tricky because grammatically there are 2 correct answers here, okay? I'm waiting for your answers in the chat. Rocky has one of them correct, yes. Grammatically there are 2 correct answers. But today, we practiced one specifically, okay? So, I will accept 2 answers for grammatical correctness, and I will accept going to start in the future. Like, when does the movie start tonight? Or maybe we're in the theater now. Hey, when does the movie start? Soon, right? Did, on the other hand, is also correct, but it's a past tense question. When did the movie start? Oh my gosh, I'm late, right? I forgot. When did the movie start? So both of these are grammatically correct. But this one, does, is used to talk about our plans, right? When does the movie start? I'll meet you at the movie theater. Okay, great. Let's go to our last one. I'm free, so I'll blank you. I'm free, so I'll blank you. I'll join, I'll joining you, I'll joined you. Maybe you remember this one. We talked about this in a couple of different examples in today's lesson. I'm free, so I'll joining, joined you. Okay, I see Rosalind and Patrick have it correct. It is, in fact, join. I'm free, so I'll join you. We practiced using this one a bit in today's lesson. I'll join you, right? So we're using the will grammar point here. I will join, right? We use the base tense, the base version of the verb in this grammar pattern. I'm free, so I'll join you. Great. We cannot use joining. We cannot use joined. They are grammatically incorrect. Okay. All right. I think that's our last one. Hooray! Great job with the quiz. Okay. So I want to remind you one more time, the team does have a free, sorry, not free, sorry. That's a different week. A 45% off discount at EnglishClass101.com. So if you want more of my lessons, if you want so many study materials, you can find a great discount right now at EnglishClass101.com. Just check the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube or above the video if you're watching on Facebook. There is a premium version and a premium plus version. So if you want your own teacher, if you want like feedback on, you know, anything, your assignments, lessons, if you want to do speech practice and get feedback from your teacher, you can do it. So I hope that this is a great chance for many of you and you enjoy all of those different study tools. Okay, that's it for today's lesson. Oh my gosh, finished on time. Amazing. So here is our summary. What did we cover today? We talked about that sounds plus adjective. I want to remind you again, this S. Don't forget this S. I saw some people do it in the chat even, okay? That's adjective. We practiced I'm adjective, as in I'm free, right? We also practiced an event pattern, like I have some time, so I'll join you. Or I have an appointment, so I'll come later, right? We practiced a few patterns for that. And we practiced asking when something begins, like when does the movie start, or when are we leaving? So today we practiced a few different patterns you can use when you're making plans. All right. Great. So next week, I'm going to talk about useful verbs for everyday life in English. We've covered topics like this similarly in lessons in the past. So we'll review some key words, some key verbs in particular that we use a lot in everyday life, break down some nuances, and hopefully help you boost your everyday communication skills. All right? So I'll say goodbye for this week. So thank you to everybody for joining me. Thank you for your questions and comments in the chat. Thanks for liking and sharing the video as well. And I wish you a great day, a great week, a great weekend, and see you again next time. Bye.